But first, the breaking story that we are getting at this moment, right at the very top, the Yogi government, under pressure in the Hathras case, has recommended a CBI probe into the case in which a young woman lost her life. This on a day when Rahul and Priyanka Gandhi have met the victim's family and had an hour-long emotional meeting with the victim's kin. But the big story that's coming in is the Yogi government's decision to go ahead with a CBI probe now, or recommend a CBI probe in this case. Listen in.
हमारी कोई पर्सनल बात नहीं हुई, उन्होंने सिर्फ हमें सुना, हमें समझा। वो यही उन्होंने जो हमारी प्रॉब्लम्स थी, जो हम आपको उस दिन से बताते हुए आ रहे हैं, जो हम पे बीती है, हमने सिर्फ उनके सामने यही सब रखा है।
उन लोगों ने क्या कहा आपसे?
उन लोगों ने भी यही बोला, आश्वासन दिया कि हम आपकी भी सहायता करें, कभी ज़रूरत हो तो बताना, कोई भी हेल्प चाहिए हो तो बताना। इन सब बातों में यही सब बातें हुई हैं।
Government of UP's responsibility to protect this family is the Raksha Karna. UP Sarkar.
And let me go to our correspondents who are in Hathras. Rahul Srivastav and Maushmi Singh are joining me at the moment. Rahul Srivastav, I want to come to you first to the big story that's breaking, the UP government recommending a CBI probe. What do you make out of it? Is this a government under pressure, or is this a government hoping to buy time now?
Rajdeep, what one can say is if one looks at the track record of the Yogi Adityanath government, I think the government in the past has brazened it out. Be it the case of the Vikas Dubey, that gangster who was killed, and the manner in which it was killed. And I think this is the first time we have seen that the kind of public pressure which came, and I think the steadfast stand taken by the family of the victim perhaps has pushed the Yogi Adityanath government towards a serious damage control exercise and day-long exercises. First in the morning was that the media, which was Rajdeep, kept at bay at this barricade where the police presence still remains extremely high. The media had to wait here, and today morning these gates were open and you can still see some media men standing on the other side of the barrier. That's the first change that happened. The second change that happened, the top officials of the government, one of the principal advisors to Mr. Yogi Adityanath and the DGP of the police arrived here, and they heard patiently why exactly does the family feel that their problem have not been addressed. What exactly are the problems? For example, the family told him that the cremation of the girl in a hasty manner without their permission and in a shoddy manner, Rajdeep, the dead deserve better dignity, was extremely hurtful. The DGP admitted that there were sentiments involved. The third change was that political parties who wanted to come here were allowed, though 5 in number, but they were still allowed. And the last one, very importantly, being a CBI probe. Though the family still wants that they have no faith even in the CBI. They say that a court-monitored inquiry should be held. But still the CBI, Yogi Adityanath government has given way for the 4th time in one day. That's one clear sign, Rajdeep, that somewhere the Yogi Adityanath feels pressurized. One by the incident, the hue and cry over it. The second also, Rajdeep, the BJP's attempt to keep a large vote base not away from it. I think somewhere the BJP is conscious. And remember, Rajdeep, like in 2015, you had a statement by RSS chief about reservations that impacted the Bihar elections and a Dalit vote that went to the BJP. And the BJP is worried that the noise and din in Hathras, Rajdeep, can reach Bihar and impact at a time when the LJP, BJP's partner in the NDA, is not making the right overtures. I think, Rajdeep, eventually it's a move to, as you said, one, to damage control, second, also to buy time, because we know how the CBI works. Just a few days back, we had a 28-year-long ordeal as far as the Babri demolition verdict is concerned. The CBI is going to be another story.
Very interestingly put, Rahul Srivastav. Let's talk then for a moment on the politics with Maushmi Singh, because we saw Priyanka Gandhi Vadra and Rahul Gandhi go to Hathras. 2 days ago they were stopped, but they still went today, along with few MPs, allowed to meet the family. Was this about optics, you think, Maushmi Singh? Was this about the Congress recognizing that they need to capture the opposition space, possibly in Uttar Pradesh, by identifying completely with the Hathras incident?
Right, Rajdeep, you know, to err is human, but it's not been the best strengths of the Yogi government to admit its mistake. And first they were in a denial mode and then in a damage control mode. And that gave the Congress a very good window to, you know, cash in upon that. Even as we say that this is a very, very sensitive case, and it's heartbreaking that so much of politics is happening, and the scenes that were unfolding at the residence of the victims, you know, so many cameras, regular visit of politicians, you know, they haven't even got the time to mourn. But on the other hand, as you said, 30 years of desertion by the voters in Uttar Pradesh. Perhaps Congress is looking for its Belchi moment. Remember that elephant ride that Indira Gandhi took in Bihar, in Belchi, and whether this will turn out to be the Belchi moment for Priyanka Gandhi or Rahul Gandhi, we'll have to wait and see. But very importantly, the symbolism or the messaging, Priyanka Gandhi in the driver's seat, Rahul Gandhi sitting next to her, and Priyanka Gandhi driving till the DND to the border of Uttar Pradesh. There was a clear message across, and then you had Priyanka Gandhi, you know, those pictures that were out hugging the victim, victim's family, you know, so a lot of symbolic messaging through body language and those pictures, and clearly, you know, that this whether the CBI inquiry will keep the heat off the Yogi government for a while, we'll have to wait and see. But importantly, Priyanka Gandhi, while she was walking out, told us that the family wants a judicial inquiry and we will stand by the family. So it's unlikely that this matter will die down anytime sooner, Rajdeep.
Okay, so clearly the Congress party at the moment has seized the momentum in a way on Hathras, because the Yogi Adityanath government finds itself under pressure, and the pressure has been such that eventually today the media, which had been barred for the last 48 hours from meeting the family, was allowed to do so. Remember, India Today and Aaj Tak have run a sustained campaign on this issue. A day after suspending the police, the UP top officials sat with the family, heard their grievances, and the family was very clear. They want justice. Tanushri Pandey reports.
एसआईटी की टीम क्या पूछताछ करके गई है? आराम से, बिल्कुल आराम से बताइए, क्या पूछताछ करके गई है टीम?
यही बोल रही थी, अरे तुमको पैसे मिल रहा है, अरे तुमको पता नहीं है तुम्हारे खाते में कितने पैसे, मुझे नहीं पता है.
Confined to their home and without any means of communication for one full day, the family of the Hathras horror victim were on Saturday allowed to speak to the media. The fear and confusion was palpable. Anger quite evident as one after another the family members opened up.
एसडीएम साहब भी बदतमीज तरीके से कल उस दिन भी बात कर रहे थे. क्या बदतमीजी कर रहे थे? कह रहे थे अगर आपको इतना पैसा मिल गया है और इतना मकान भी मिल रहा है, नौकरी भी मिल रही है, इतना अगर लड़की को कोरोना हो जाता तो तब भी नहीं मिलता था.
The family fears there is a blatant attempt to cover up.
धमकी थी, ये बोल रहे थे कि हम पलट गए तो बहुत बुरा होगा, मतलब तुम केस हार जाओगे. हमारे पास कुछ ऐसे वीडियो हैं जो दिखा दिए सबको. तो आप लोग
किस वीडियो की बात कर रहे थे? किस तरह की वीडियो की बात कर रहे थे डीएम साहब?
चुपके से उनका वीडियो बनाया कि मतलब खानदानी रंजिश है, ऐसा है. तो खानदानी रंजिश आदमियों से निकाली जाती है, मैं बता दूं, ना कि हमारी बहन के साथ है तो तब करके खानदानी रंजिश निकालते हैं लोग. ये कोई
The special investigation team, which has taken the family statements, now wants them to undergo narco analysis. Sources in the police claim that the family statements have been changing over time. Meanwhile, the DGP who met the family on Saturday refused to elaborate why the body of the victim was cremated in such a hurry.
I really want to understand from them as to what has gone wrong, and how it has gone wrong, and how they perceive it, and how
You wanted to assuage their feelings, that calm them
not
down.
only assuage the feelings, but to see why such a situation has arisen and why they could not get proper redress. That's the point.
The horrific death of the 19-year-old and the high-handedness of the police have led to a huge political face-off. After the failed first attempt, Priyanka Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi made a second bid to reach Hathras. Initially blocked at the Delhi-Noida border, they were later allowed to proceed. With Chitra Tripathi and Tanushree Pandey in Hathras. Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's raise the big questions now. Have the Gandhis seized the moment on Hathras? That's the question I want to raise. I'm joined by Sushmita Dev, former MP and spokesperson of the Congress, Javed Ansari, senior journalist, and Rajat Sethi, political analyst, are joining me. I appreciate all of you joining us. Sushmita Dev, let me try and understand what's happening. Is this the Congress finally realizing that you cannot practice politics as work from home, which is the charge that has been made against your party leadership, that you have to be on the ground? Or is this just simply the manner in which Hathras has struck a chord that has forced the Congress to be there on the ground? Is this politics or is this emotion?
See, Rajdeep, right from our defeat in the 2014 election, you cannot say we have not taken to the streets. When the Arunachal government fell, just to give one example, we marched at Jantar Mantar and Mrs. Gandhi herself marched. I hope you remember those visuals. But yes, it has been a combination of lot of things.
No, but those are one-day events.
See, I'll tell you something. The fact that Rahul Gandhi ji has given Priyanka Gandhi ji Uttar Pradesh, which is, you'll have to admit, one of the toughest states, and somebody commented before, we haven't been in power there for 30 years, says that we want to walk the talk. He could have given Priyanka Gandhi ji an easier state where Congress comes to power and BJP comes to power every alternate, 5 years. But he gave her a state where 27 years or 30 years we've been out of power. So it's serious business. If we have somehow given the impression to this country that we're not serious about the issues that impact people, I'll just have to differ there. I'll have to differ there with great humility. We have suffered a lot because of the way we have lacked coverage and space in the media. Of course, you're an exception, but the question is, that has damaged us a lot. Rahul Gandhi worked hard in Gujarat. He was there for full 3 months. You can't say we're not on the ground. Karnataka, he worked hard. Punjab, he worked hard.
No, that's before elections. Sushmita Dev, that is before elections. My point is that if you remember in Bhatta Parsol, on the Land Acquisition Act, about 8 years ago, Rahul Gandhi appeared to be creating some kind of a momentum and then just slipped off the radar. The charge therefore was made that he flits in and out of politics. Now you've got another opportunity. Now you've got Priyanka Gandhi Vadra and Rahul Gandhi going there, reaching out to this family. I want to understand, is this purely about the manner in which this family allegedly has not been given justice, or is this a wider attempt by the Congress to mobilize its cadres in a state where, as you said, you've been out of power for 30 years and Dalits are among the communities that have drifted away from the Congress? Is this about politics at that level?
It's a very long question, but just to stick to the point, all I'm saying is that Rahul Gandhi, to say that Rahul Gandhi or the Congress party has not been on the ground is not entirely correct. We have tried to take up every issue, whether it is crushing of the democracy. And right now, if we want to talk about Uttar Pradesh, since the time Priyanka Gandhi ji has taken over as the in charge of Uttar Pradesh, there has not been a single issue that she's not taken up. And can I please say something? Today, Corona is at its peak. We've crossed 1 lakh people who've died in India. Narendra Modi is on television. We are on the ground. You saw the way Priyanka Gandhi charged into the crowd today. Rahul Gandhi charged into the crowd today. They didn't have to. You see, Narendra Modi, you don't realize, he is always on television. He's always covered live. He always comes to the ground when there's an election. But when it comes to real issues, I feel Rahul Gandhi ji and the Congress party has been at the forefront. Don't mistake the Prime Minister being seen on TV as a Prime Minister who's on the ground. We are much more on the ground, but he has more visibility because he has constant coverage. That's the difference. People have to start realizing that.
Okay, that's okay.
Not a
that's
single
an interesting viewpoint that you're expressing. Javed Ansari, I want to
Rahul Gandhi has done so many press meets.
No, I take your point. The Prime Minister's. I'll get Rajat Sethi to respond to that in a moment. Why don't you take that then, Rajat Sethi, before I come to Javed Ansari, that here is the Congress claiming that they are on the ground, they are taking up this issue. For example, the Prime Minister has not even tweeted about it. There's a sense that the BJP, even though it's in power in Uttar Pradesh, hasn't been proactive. The centre hasn't been proactive, even though this is 200 kilometers away from Delhi. How do you respond? Do you believe that the Gandhis have seized the momentum?
See, Rajdeep, the country is not interested in the sob story of Congress and how many press conferences Rahul Gandhi has been doing. It is meaningless. And what is even more shameful today is the way with which Congress used the sentiments that this event surrounding what happened in UP to their political advantage. You know, your reporter Mausami went out and today and spoke to the Congress MP Shashi Tharoor, and he said, "Abhi rajniti nahi karenge to kab karenge?" Isn't it shameful? And you are also, I mean, part of it is where you also are asking your ground reporters to understand the political
Rajat Sethi, a politician practices. No, 1 minute. Rajat Sethi, but just 1 minute. A politician practices politics. If the government of Uttar Pradesh, which is BJP ruled, is allegedly not doing enough for the families, is allegedly the administration is complicit, why should the opposition, in this case the Congress, not raise those issues? Should they not flag it off? If your leadership cannot go to meet the family, why should they not go?
Well, again, coming to the moot point that they are political vultures, the common man of India sees through it. This is why this leader has zero credibility. When he steps on the ground, he makes a mockery of not just himself, but of the entire party. You know, today when they were walking or actually driving through the DNT, the kind of sloganeering that was going. The slogan was, Congress Jindabad, Rahul Gandhi Jindabad. How does Rahul Gandhi become Jindabad when he is going to emotionally provide some succor to the family of the victim? You don't understand and you don't see the dilemma of the situation here, and you are here condoning that this should be used as a Belchi moment, and this should be used as a political brownie points by Priyanka Gandhi, who wants to launch her failed political career. And you are like everybody, and this is the most shocking part, that I have seen Prashant Bhushan, people like Prashant Bhushan saying that this is the moment to be seized by the political party. Then there is another person by the name of Madhavan who goes out and tweets that this is the moment has arrived for the Congress party. What nonsense is this? This is where I take deep, disagreement with which the Congress has been trying to do its politics.
Sushmita, you want to respond? You want to respond to Rajat Sethi?
Yes, I do.
Rajdeep, I am also on the panel.
Let me
You're
just
being
say, what is the reason?
Yes, go ahead, Sushmita.
What is the reason that BJP doesn't have their official spokesperson on your show today? Number one. Number two, Narendra Modi ji went and displayed his face when the 26/11 Taj episode happened. So let's not go down that road. The fact is, Yogi Adityanath never went to the Sonbhadra incident. Priyanka Gandhi ji went first. Today, Ajay Bish ji should have rushed to that family and met them. Instead, he burnt the victim's body at 2:30 a.m. The country is not just outraged at the rape. This is a sensible country and a nation which understands our Prime Minister probably can't stand and prevent a rape, but it's how you react to it. He reacted badly to it. He gave her no medical treatment. He got his officers to hush it up. He had got his officers to threaten that family. That is what is the outrage. Yesterday in Jantar Mantar, I spoke to thousands of young people, and they were shocked that this is the Modi who said, this is the Modi who promised security for women after Nirbhaya. I didn't interrupt him. This is the same Prime Minister
you made your point.
This is the same Prime Minister who said women's security will be his priority, and his WCD minister is in slumber for like 17 days. It's shocking and outrageous and disgraceful.
Sushmita, you're saying it's the outrage which Hathras has invoked, which has led your leadership to go there. Rajat, before I come to you, let me go to Javed Ansari to get a perspective of, in the context of Uttar Pradesh, is this about 15 months to go for? Ma'am, just a minute. 15 months to go for the UP elections, Javed Ansari. The Congress was decimated a year ago. Priyanka Gandhi has become the General Secretary. Is it, as Rajat Sethi is suggesting, a comeback, an attempt to sort of launch Priyanka Gandhi Vadra? Or am I being too cynical when even I ask that question?
Look, it's a bit ironical that, at a time when all the questions should be direct, should be asked of the UP Chief Minister, his mishandling of the entire Hathras rape case. We are critiquing a party, we are grudging a party that is trying to express its sympathies with the victim. And even, how can we grudge a political party that it wants to take mileage? All political parties do it. Mr. Modi, when he was Chief Minister of Gujarat, was amongst the first to land up in Bombay hours after the terrorist attack. Was he playing politics? Was he trying to milk it for political ends? Political parties will do politics. They are not in politics for altruistic purposes. The question that needs to be asked is why? Okay, it was wrong of Rahul Gandhi, but what prevented Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh to go there and commiserate with the family? What prevented the Chief Minister to ask questions of the district magistrate, to haul up the district magistrate and ask him why were they in the dead of night, surreptitiously, why was that girl's body cremated? Are these not questions that need to be asked? I mean, it's amazing that, when people raise questions, they're questions. When they are not raised questions, they're questioned. And those who ought to be held accountable for their actions or the lack of it are allowed to go scot-free.
Right. Let Rajat Sethi respond to this. Rajat, somewhere has this been a big miscalculation on part of the BJP? Because the BJP has consciously, in a way, wooed the Valmiki vote, and then perhaps didn't recognize the manner in which this would play out, particularly that cremation that took place late in the night. That image has, in a way, may well haunt the Yogi Adityanath government. Do you concede that if the Congress is guilty, as you say, of playing vulture politics, the BJP is equally guilty of completely showing a lack of empathy for the family?
Again, I will not use any kind of a political lenses in this case. The issue is about the administration, the local administration and the top level administration. Who is to be blamed? It will come out in the inquiry. Prima facie, and this is my sole personal opinion of what I understand, the local administration has erred in handling the situation. They should have taken the family into confidence. I mean, all the chain of events that unfolded, I personally feel that the district magistrate and the superintendent of police of Hathras are both to be held accountable for this. This is where the local administration and its behavior should be accounted for. Whereas you go on the level of the higher administration, they tried to reach out to the family today also. The Chief Minister made it a point that he hands over the investigation to the CBI. But this is a very important thing because he understands that the passion with which and the emotions of the victim's family cannot be assuaged by the local administration doing the investigation. He understands that. And this is why I personally feel that this leader enjoys some level of credibility, whereas the other leaders who wanted to use it blatantly for political gains will not have credibility in the eyes of our Dalit brethren and also of the common masses in India. Okay. In conclusion, Sushmita Dev, what next for the Congress? Let's be very clear. Here you've gone to the family, you have every right to reach out to them, to in a sense share their sense of distress. Priyanka Gandhi was there. But what now? I mean, how are you going to ensure that there is justice that is done to this family? Is this an issue that the Congress will stay with, or will you simply move on to the next issue?
Definitely not. We are not going to move on to another issues, but we are also not going to ignore what's happened to the farmers, because Rahul Gandhi ji is going to Punjab. And I want to tell you that nothing is going to change in UP till Adityanath is there. And this is the reason where he consistently sees women not capable of being left free or independent. That's the mindset that has to be fought. And there's no one better than Priyanka Gandhi ji to do it. And I just want to tell you that, I'm repeating it again, it is not about just statistics. It's how the government is treated. You've given a CBI inquiry. The question is, will the CBI investigate Who instructed the officers to do this? Is there going to be any moral culpability? Is there going to be any accountability on the part of the government? CBI is going to investigate what SIT is already investigating.
It's interesting, yeah.
Aditya Nath needs to be dragged off that chair. That's what needs to be done.
Okay, so that's your view. Interestingly, you're saying this while the SIT team has arrived in Hathras. The SIT team has arrived in Hathras and is at the family's door. But I want to ask Javed Ansari a final concluding question, because Javed Ansari, the sense is if Priyanka Gandhi Vadra really wants to take the battle to Yogi Adityanath, or Sushmita Dev wants to remove him from the chair, you're going to have to fight this battle from Lucknow, not just sitting in Delhi. Do you think that the time has come for Priyanka Gandhi Vadra to move to Lucknow? Then you'll see that whether she's genuinely committed to Uttar Pradesh in the widest possible sense, on the ground, day after day, 365 days. Mamata Banerjee fought the left for 20 years on the ground, taking lathis.
Yes, Rajdeep, I agree that one sunny day doesn't make a summer. But tell me, which general secretary across political parties goes and starts living in the state that's been assigned to him? Priyanka Gandhi can continue to live here. She has a family in Delhi, yet function, be far more proactive, or continue being proactive in Uttar Pradesh. The Congress has a mountain to climb, but at least they've started making an effort. They've started making an effort, and we need to recognize that. We need to be fair and recognize that, and we need to ask questions of those in power and not of those who are questioning those in power.
Okay, interesting way to put it there, Javed Ansari. Sushmita Dev, Javed Ansari, Rajat Sethi, for giving us a sense of how you see the politics playing out in Uttar Pradesh today. Thanks very much for joining me. Welcome back. Let's turn to the other big story, because after months of speculation, the All India Institute of Medical Sciences forensic team head Dr. Sudhir Gupta has finally told us what India Today has been saying for weeks. Sushant Singh Rajput's death was a case of suicide, not murder. Ruling out any possibility of murder, Dr. Gupta said Sushant died due to hanging. India Today has been tracking this story for weeks and saying that the speculation around it was in a way political. Therefore, let me turn to some of those guests at the moment that I have today to ask that question. The Mumbai police, which for weeks was saying Sushant committed suicide, was not murdered, are they vindicated? What of the Maharashtra government? My first guest is Priyanka Chaturvedi, the Shiv Sena Rajya Sabha MP, joins me. Priyanka Chaturvedi, is the Shiv Sena going to say that we feel vindicated, the Maharashtra government? Because so far the CBI has not said that they are concurring with what the All India Institute of Medical Sciences has said. They will still continue their investigations.
Firstly, I'd like to say something here, Rajdeep, that we are grateful that some news channels have chosen to stick by the truth and the investigation and getting justice for the person who died an unfortunate death in the right manner, with the truth and justice in place. As far as CBI is concerned, I would not want to get into what CBI has concluded, what CBI is investigating, but what it goes on to say is the entire witch hunt against Mumbai police, Maharashtra government, as well as trying to implicate some people into this entire, I would say, investigation. We stand vindicated. Dr. Sudhir Gupta, though the AIMS report is not officially released, but Dr. Sudhir Gupta's statement from your channel, that I hear from your channel, goes on to conclude that what Mumbai police was doing was a fair probe, and all the entire witch hunt that was going on was politically motivated and a politically driven, I would say, cause to kind of try and project the Maharashtra government in a bad way, the Mumbai police in a bad way, the Maharashtra police in a bad way. So yes, we do stand vindicated. However, we would ensure and we would continue to cooperate with the CBI because that is what the Supreme Court expects of us.
Could you all have handled it better? Could this entire matter have been handled better right from the very start if you all had been more forthcoming with information, not gone also the Mumbai police in the fishing expedition that they did, where they were summoning one star after the other? Much of this perhaps could have been nipped in the bud itself. Do you believe that this is part of a wider political conspiracy? Is that what you're telling me, to bring down your Maharashtra government?
Absolutely. Forget bringing down the Maharashtra government, which nobody has the guts to do and nobody can afford to do. What we can categorically see is the chronology behind it. Here is a Maharashtra government which is being accused of many other things besides trying to cover up an investigation, while the Mumbai police was accused of many other things. How do you say that Mumbai police was not doing its job? What witch hunt are we talking about? Running after individuals? What is the NCB doing? What, for that matter, is the CBI doing? It has been since 26 July. 26 July was when Sushant Singh's family went on record in an FIR in Bihar to say that there was an abetment to suicide and it should be transferred to CBI. Where do we stand now? We are in the middle of October now. We are on 3rd of October, and there is nothing that is conclusive to say that there was something which was, I would say, secretive about the death, or there was something which was beyond the suicide that he committed. One second, that he committed. AIIMS report goes on to conclusively prove that this was a suicide, and this is what Mumbai police was investigating. Individuals have been called even by NCB, individuals have been called by the CBI, individuals have been called by Enforcement Directorate. I will not even want to get into the entire one-on-one conversations that they would have had, or even try and cast aspersions on the investigation. The investigation is ongoing. However, the AIIMS report goes on to conclusively prove what the Cooper Hospital had come across, and Cooper Hospital's conclusions. Cooper Hospital employees were troubled day and night, were hounded day and night because of their conclusions. And this is what the CBI findings and AIIMS finding is, after forensic experts have been brought in. So all I'd like to say is that those people, including the person who is in charge of Bihar and the former chief minister's wife, who went on to cast aspersions on Mumbai police, at least offer an apology to Mumbai police.
That is exactly my final question, for which I want a quick response. When you say apology, is it just that you want the former Bihar DGP today to give you an apology, who's of course joined a political party now, or do you want the news channels which ran this campaign, including in a way trying to bring in the Shiv Sena Chief Minister's son Aditya Thackeray into this? Do you want an apology? Why don't you take legal action? Or are you simply now feeling that enough is enough, we'll move on?
You know, there are three things I'd like to say, Rajdeep. One is that truth will always prevail. Whatever your bad intentions, whatever your motivations, whatever your political intent might be, or your narrative building might be, truth will reign supreme, and that is what has happened in this particular case. Second, with regards to one DGP of Bihar police, I think people of Bihar would be the best judge of how he conducted himself as far as this particular investigation was concerned, where he worked like a political appointee of a political party to further the cause of a political front to come and take charge of, the government when the elections happen. And he himself now stands to contest for an election if he's given a ticket. The unfortunate way that he began his election campaign. And the third point I'd like to say with regards to the media, I think as far as y'all are concerned, y'all have done a fair investigation, but there are some sections of the media who are now actually brazenly going on record to say, has injustice been done to Sushant Singh Rajput's investigation? I think they need to look within. The kind of investigation that they launched, the kind of behavior, the kind of norms that were broken, I hope they look within before they try to accuse the governments, they accuse the investigation agencies, before they accuse the Mumbai police or the Maharashtra police for being free and fair as far as the investigation is concerned. I think the AIIMS report conclusively proves that Mumbai police was doing its job and doing its job as per what is expected of any investigation agency to do.
Priyanka Chaturvedi, you've given the point of view of the Shiv Sena, the party in power in Maharashtra. I appreciate your joining us here on the news today. Let me take this forward with the BJP spokesperson now, Shweta Shalini from Mumbai, and MN Singh, former Mumbai Police Commissioner. To you, Shweta Shalini, you may have heard what Priyanka Chaturvedi said. Do you believe that the BJP owes an apology, or the manner in which Narayan Rane, other leaders have been accusing the Mumbai police targeting in a way the Maharashtra government? Is it time now to say, Mea culpa, we got it wrong, apologize now? Do you think it's time for an apology, or is it too early for an apology?
So Rajdeep, couple of things that I want to say before I come back to your question and answer a couple of queries that Priyanka Chaturvedi ji just raised. One of the first things is, it's surprising that a lot of people who are rejoicing today on the AIIMS report, including you and your channel, are the ones who were till yesterday questioning the FSL report of the Hathras victim. But coming back to this report, according to my information, the entire full report is not officially out, and that's exactly what Priyanka ji also said to your channel. And I think the conclusion of this entire case still lies
Dr.
in the hands
Sudhir
of
Gupta,
CBI.
the head of forensics, has said it was suicide, not murder.
Dr.
For
Sudhir
months you
Gupta
have been saying
has
it was murder.
had a
Today, are
dubious
you willing
past.
to
Please do not interrupt Rajdeep ji. Yes, he's had a dubious past, and if you look towards in his past, you will see that in most of the cases, including Batla or Arushi Hatyakand, he has been pulled up for parallel reporting, or sometimes
you are now questioning the AIIMS forensic
in fact,
chief.
In 2014, there was
you are questioning the AIIMS forensic chief's credibility.
Why Dr.
You are questioning the chief
had
of
to go
AIIMS
out of the way and publish something or say something which is not yet published in public domain.
Because
So
channels have been carrying out media. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because channels have been carrying out a media trial and accusing and saying it's murder. That's why he had to do it. Because there are channels and channels which, I'm sorry to say, ma'am, are propped up by your party.
And I started with that, Rajdeep ji. The channels that are rejoicing today are the ones who were questioning the FSL report of the Hathras victim. That was also done in Safdarjung. Why were you questioning that?
Two different cases.
And in any case, let's not jump the gun. And to answer Priyanka Chaturvedi's questions. Question number one, there was all that Mumbai police was doing was just an inquiry. They got the meaning of FIR completely wrong. FIR is first information report, not the final information report. We waited for 60 days for Mumbai police to do something. And let's understand this. It is the people of India who questioned, and it is the Supreme Court of India that actually give them a good tight slap when it handed over the case from the Mumbai police to the CBI. If there was nothing to hide, then today the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh has handed over the Hathras case to CBI. Why were they not handing over the case to CBI? And
the CBI,
last but not the least, if somebody has to apologize, then,
you made your point.
Then Sanjay Raut has to apologize first, because he actually insulted a dead man's family. A 74-year-old man who was asking for justice for his dead son.
Let's not now, producer, we are now going all over the place. I'm focusing on this issue. MN Singh, do you believe that the Mumbai police is owed an apology if it is, as is being said by the forensic team of AIIMS, that this was suicide and not murder?
Why should Mumbai police owe any apology?
I'm asking, is the Mumbai police owed an apology? Should people be should the politicians who targeted Mumbai police or the Bihar police who targeted Mumbai police owe the Mumbai police an apology?
Well, Rajdeep, I would be a little cautious in giving my final comment, because the final report has to come from the CBI. I will be surprised, but I would certainly like to say that I will be surprised if the report was anything other than what Dr. Gupta has told you. I have absolutely no doubt that it was a case of suicide, but it needs a confirmation from another authority, expert authority, that is the AIIMS. forensic science have already said that there was no poison. I'll be surprised if the report was anything other than what you are saying. But as far as the apology aspect is concerned, well, whole lot of people need to apologize for this. Of course, media, some channels which went to the town and is spreading all kinds of lies and spreading their own theories, they need to not only apologize, but I would like to recommend that there should be some provision that any media, particularly the television channels, if they are found to be spreading lies and misguiding the public opinion, there should be a penal provision in the regulatory mechanism to prevent such kind of phishing in the market. I mean, this is very unfortunate that some media have taken a very one-sided view, a totally one-sided, and been guided by what one lady said on the channel and the other said, compared one anchor with Chulbul Pandey, all running for their TRP. So that is as far as the media is concerned. Now, you see, I see that the whole Bihar government, the way the Bihar government acted in the whole thing was not beyond suspicion. I have told you on your channel earlier that the registration of an FIR with running number in the police station in Bihar was illegal. Bihar police coming and making an investigation in Mumbai was totally going beyond the law. They have overstretched the law. I also said to you that Bihar government recommending to the government of India transfer of the case, a Bombay case, to CBI was wrong. I also said that the central government acting post haste and transferring the case to the CBI, even while the case is pending before the Supreme Court, was wrong. And it did give a scope to doubt the motives, political motives of the state government and also probably the central government. And therefore, all those people also need to come clean and apologize if the CBI also confirms the AIMS report.
Right.
And also, I may tell you that some advocates who went to Bihar, Bihar DG, also to the Chief Minister of Bihar, pressurized them, instead of taking a legal recourse to get the case FIR registered, they used the political route to get the case registered and transferred to the CBI. It was very unfortunate. It was not beyond suspicion and beyond doubt. And therefore, once the closer report comes from the CBI, I think a whole lot of them need to apologize and come clean on this. I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that this.
I think that's a very sobering thought on which to end tonight. We will, of course, carry forward these debates as and when that CBI report is formalized. We don't know when that will happen. Remember, the CBI is also under scrutiny given its investigations in the Babri demolition case. At the moment, the CBI, some say, remains a caged parrot. Either way, it may well be time for the CBI to come clean rather than wait for an election in Bihar to be over on the Sushant case. I appreciate my guests who've joined me today. Let me leave you with a happier image today. And it is Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurating the strategically important Atal Tunnel in Rohtang Pass in Himachal Pradesh. I remember going there many years ago. It is truly an architectural marvel. The 9-kilometer long tunnel connects Manali to the Lahaul Spiti Valley. That's the positive news on which to end today. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.